What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Money Monday. Welcome to another episode of Winject Radio presented by Winject Studios. As you can tell, the man, the myth, the legend of Repurpose IO. We have here official partnership of Winject Studios. Man, this is going to be so much fun talking about this today because I get so many messages. Chris, what about the repurposing content? Yada, yada, yada. Like, what are we doing with this? Well, here we are, and that's what we're here to discuss today is all the amazing things. But welcome to the show, Hani. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, Chris. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, blessing. It's a blessing, not in disguise. It's a blessing in the flesh. We're ready to rock and roll. So there's a lot of, of course, angles of opportunity of having this type of strategic partnership within Winject Studios with our amazing community and the back office. Just so everyone know, the back office is almost complete. Should be by the end of this week. Then we're going to start doing our weekly or bi-weekly calls with the official partners and then also with all of our amazing community members. And that way we can interact and go to winject.com, sign in, and use a one-stop shop, all-in-one educational hub. And one of the partnerships that we do have is also with the social media because you guys are, I guess, utilizing Zoom, StreamYard, however you're recording your content and don't really know what to do with the video stuff component because it, obviously depending on what your audience is and how do you reach your listeners and how they consume content, they might not consume it by video and you really don't know how to make it happen. Well, that's why this partnership just makes complete sense. So if you can, first and foremost, can we again just like go over exactly what Repurpose IO is and what you're about and why this makes sense? I guess we can go from there and we just riff around.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, Repurpose IO is designed for content creators, video creators, audio creators to let them create once and publish everywhere. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you focus your energy on the creation part. So it's designed so that you can set up these rules with a few clicks so that once you create this video that we're doing here, this interview, you can have it go out into audio format to your podcasting host. You can have it go out to LinkedIn as a video, go out to Facebook, to YouTube. So you can set it up so that it's automated distribution of your content in any format that you want. And we have guidelines and we have a course as well that kind of walks you through it. But the goal is that you create one piece of content like we're doing here, and that can be an audio podcast, that can be turned into little video clips. And then also published automatically or scheduled if you want through our platform. Just giving you maximum eyeballs and earballs, if you want to call them earballs, but
right, earbuds,
maximum reach, earbuds. Yeah, that's the best way to express sense.
Yeah, actually, I learned that one from Adam because I was saying the same thing before. I was like, "What the hell do you call it?" Is it the earbuds? I'm like, "Oh, that makes more sense now."
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
So, Adam, if you're watching this, my man, hope you're doing well, and he's got off his little vacation and whatnot. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people like to consume content, and depending on how you like to consume it, you just want to make sure it's accessible to everyone. You don't want to like just pigeonhole yourself and only getting to a half of your listeners or a quarter of your listeners. And I see that a lot, especially when it comes to social media. They record off of Zoom, and that's why I do love just for myself. I love the StreamYard recording off of this because you can record multiple also audio from it and stream it, and that way you're able to, it kind of quits my editing team to be able to edit properly where you don't get a lot of background noise where I'm talking over you, you're talking over me. You hear a lot of that when you're just recording off of Zoom. I think Zoom has it where the component where you can do that, but for myself, there's not a lot you can do with the MP3. You have to be able to edit, obviously wave component when you're doing with the audio, so that way you don't have a person like myself that talks really loud. And then you have someone that's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you can't really even it out. It sounds really awful when it comes out through audio. But I do love about Repurpose, I'm able to take this video component and then put it through. And I think it's over 20 pieces of content you can actually make from that one, or is it even more?
You can go as much as you want. I mean, I say 20 because you want to basically pick 5 kind of highlights, like 5 key takeaways or 5 funny moments, interesting moments, and then make little clips out of it. But you can go as many as you want. Like you can go nuts. There's no limit in our software. It's just kind of keep it simple. I say take 5 clips, 5 days a week, get them all scheduled out. So you fill your content calendar for the entire week for all the platforms in like one interview that we do right here. So that's the beauty of it, is that as a content creator, you're not you're not spending a lot of time making, I got to make a video today. I got to make another video today. No, you create some good solid content, and you turn that into 20 pieces of content scheduled out for the entire week to all your favorite platforms.
I see that you do have the Instagram stuff now. That one component just went live. Talk about that.
Yeah, so Instagram just released the ability for third-party softwares like Repurpose and others to publish directly. So now you can directly schedule a piece of content, a little video clip from this interview, for example, up to a minute long, and have it scheduled to go to Instagram as a native video. So that's one key thing here. We're not sharing links. We're not like social media sharing. We put that content as a video onto those platforms because A, the platforms love that, and then because you're not sending people away, and then B, people can just scroll, consume that 1 minute bite-sized piece of content and keep scrolling. So people can consume that content more easily without having to click anything.
I do love that because you are correct. I learned that the hard way through LinkedIn. They don't, because you know how you can have you put a link in there and it populates like a preview. Yeah. Well, they don't like the fact that they click on YouTube and they go to YouTube and you're taking them away from their platform. They don't like that at all. No. So, and that's one thing, that's one of the major reasons why Instagram, had that IGTV component, and now it's with the Reels. And I'm noticing even with myself, I started to, I'm a kind of person where I have to test things out first before I put into motion 100%. And that's one of the things that I'm doing with the older content, the video content from me doing trainings with some of the trade schools and background and whatnot. Doesn't really matter. But when I'm taking that content now, utilizing the Reels, I'm going to take that content now and put it through Repurpose to be able to let the system work for me to where I'm able now to look at it more of a bird's eye view and be very, I guess, intentional and deliberate with what I'm trying to post and what I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the fact that it's native video is key. Native video and no links. Those are like the two things. If you're doing anything, you want to get anything from this interview, is whatever you're posting on the platform, post it natively, upload the video, or use a tool like ours to automate that for you. But don't share links. It's not about sharing links. Let's get a click here. It's about putting content that people can consume on the platform they're already on, right? And then just doing that daily. So when you schedule content, you can appear like you're posting daily, but all we're doing is we're recording an interview once a week, and I'll have content from that scheduled to go out every single day. And you're training the algorithms. You're like, all right, hey, Instagram, I'm posting daily. And the more you post, the more they'll show.
And the more they'll show, and I would always recommend with putting, it's kind of like one of those things you just do it trial by error. But I wouldn't recommend inside of your content, it could be video, it could be audio, putting a call to action inside of it where you're not driving them away from the actual platform itself. You're giving them a choice to go to that call to action, whether you're not trying to, I guess you would say, trick the algorithm. Because one thing I did learn about LinkedIn is, so say, for instance, if I tagged you in a post, and I suffered from this. When people tag me, I thought I can reshare it. Well, that actually does the counter effect to it. So if you just comment on it and then tag people in it, like, you do add at the bottom, then you're keeping it on that one person that posted it. So that's one thing I learned actually from one of the LinkedIn, I wouldn't say really gurus, but mad scientists. Team of Logic, I love you to death, team. The team is great. And Belinda Agnew is another good friend of mine that loves LinkedIn, and their platforms are just, there's something they'll take a piece of content and they'll go viral on LinkedIn because they're forcing people to stay there. And also on one post, because if you take something and reshare it on LinkedIn, it's now taking the algorithm and it's flipping it where you're starting at ground zero again, and they have to comment on one thing. It's not commenting on a bunch. And that's just a little my tip on LinkedIn that I learned.
Nice. Yeah, I know, but your call to action tip is great because we actually have a feature, a customer request, where you can upload a little video at the end. You can say, hey, try repurpose, whatever. I can have a call to action that I can upload to repurpose.io, and then it can automatically add it to all the videos for you. So it's like a little bumper video at the end.
Oh, okay. So like at the end of YouTube, but it has like stay here, like watch more videos type of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's like a bumper intro or outro that someone can record, and then you can have our software just add it to every single clip or video that it publishes. So you don't have to keep editing video automatically. So you can have your call to action there. I would say at the end, if they lasted and they watched a full minute clip, And then you're like, oh, you want to watch more, you want to listen to our podcast, go search for this. So you can have whatever call to action you want in the video itself, instead of adding links, because links are just social media. They're all doing it now. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they don't like links because you're sending people away. And that's the opposite of what they want.
And them staying on that one platform is only going to increase the algorithm and rewarding you for it, from what I'm hearing, right? So
yeah.
And the one thing I have seen on Instagram, say for instance, if I posted a image on your stuff, right? So I posted your image and then posted that in the stories, that actually does you a disservice. You have to be very strategic. So I have to tag you in a certain thing on that post and then put maybe a question or a call to action in the stories. Yes, I have been working with one of our official partners, Lauren Tittner. Lauren, I love you to death. She's got an amazing mind when it comes to marketing and making it really easy for people to take action rather than forcing them to go to too many places. You got to drive them through one specific funnel and call to action and driving them all to one spot. You drive them all to one spot, then you have a shot of actually the next leg, which I love.
Yeah, and keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. Send them all to one place.
Right.
Let them go through your process, your nurturing process, whatever process you have to get them to take the next step. You can't do that on social media. They're just scrolling. You just want them to get to see your face, hear your voice, and then get to know you that way by doing this regularly. And then the call to action is to take them through the next step, the next commitment level, whether it's signing up for something, whether it's subscribing to your podcast, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Carolyn, can you put that Zach comment? Zach is another one of our official partners with the website, obviously winject.com. This is great if you aren't repurposing your content and wasting your time. If you put in the work to create the content, he might make it work for you. Absolutely. It's that. His live is on Thursdays. They go, him and Jason. And I think they were talking about repurpose. It's like, talk about it, Hani. We got some amazing things going on. But talk a little bit about that comment right there and why it's important to leverage your content rather than trying to always get new stuff out there, right?
In simplest form, you're going to burn out. You can't keep coming up with ideas every single day that are interesting. You're going to burn out. There's no way. You have a business to run. This is complementing some kind of business that you're running. This is not your primary focus is to be shooting videos every single day, right? So you need to be able to be efficient at it. Create good, solid content. Put your heart and soul in it. That's where you feel the energies when you create it. And then if you know that I got to create every single day, you're going to burn out. You're not going to keep up with the rat race. But if you know you're creating once a week, and even if you can batch it, if you can spend, one day in this month, I'm going to record my 4, 5, 6 interviews.
Absolutely.
And then that's even better. But let's keep it simple. Let's say you're recording it once a week. Then with our software, you can schedule the little clips to go out to all the different platforms. Within an hour or so, you're good to go for the entire week. You'll have video content every day for every platform for the entire week.
Right. That's really good advice. Really, really good advice, because I see a lot of people when they go to consume content or make content, they think they need to have enough content for that 1 week. Well, it depends on how many episodes you're launching a week, in my opinion. If you're doing more of a Q&A and then doing an interview-based style, podcast, that's 2 a week. So technically you need, I would say, double of that. So you mean probably, I would say 8 to 16 episodes ahead of time, just so that you're able to now take a step back and not be reactive. You're being proactive about what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, people, hey, I have a podcast, mother truckers, come listen. That doesn't work that way. People, you have to trick them and want them to consume the content. It could be by testimonials, could be by promos, it could be by just short little snippets of it, to where you're dropping them maybe a week in advance. You are not going to want to miss this episode, and then create some hype around it, because they wait until the last minute to post some clips. Well, you're now just promoting a week after. Well, I like to look at it going, okay, there's one episode and there's clips that I'm going to post this week to promote it. But then in 3 weeks, I'm going to start resurfacing that. How did you miss this? Did you miss this 2 weeks ago? Go back and listen and reward them for it. And that's kind of the mind of, doing something that isn't done often And that's going to actually help them go, okay, well, they're doing a little something different, because there's only so much content you can post in so many different ways. Like, what advice would you give someone in that type of, I guess, format or that kind of strategic approach?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, I like your approach. I think it's fantastic. If you had the bandwidth to do some teasers, do the content, and then do some like, hey, did you miss this? I think that's fantastic, because like you said, like, you're prepping them, you're priming them, and then you're reminding them, for those who missed it, who missed the live episode, who missed the actual episode on the day, you're reminding them to come back. But I mean, for anybody who's just starting off, and even if you just start with the post stuff afterwards, the beauty of the podcast is if someone subscribes to your content, whether they subscribe on YouTube or the audio format, they have access to the entire backlog. So you can always remind them,
yes,
on social media, hey, if you miss an episode, hey, 3 episodes ago, in your episode, like we're talking now, you can say, hey, last week I interviewed this and that. Make sure you listen to that episode. So you can always remind them to go back to their content in the content of the following week. So my always advice is, it's a little overwhelming when you're starting, especially if you're just starting. Like, how do I promote before and after? Keep it as simple as possible. Start promoting after. That's the easiest way to do it. And then start introducing more and more like teasers before, if you can kind of your team and the tools allow you to do so. But always keep it simple. Don't try to do it all in one shot. Just focus your heart and soul on the creation part. That's the most important part.
I love that you said that. Focus your heart and soul on the creation part. And that's where you get burnt out.
Yes.
Because you're trying to do too much at once. And I would always suggest, if you are pouring your heart and soul into your content, well, you really want to make sure you're delivering that content. And, of course, and most people are going to be like, Chris, shut the hell up. Well, distribution, you have to look at your distribution channels. You can't just be one channel trying to get out your stuff. So you have, say, for instance, you're having guests that come on. The way I look at when I have guests when I'm interviewing, I look at it as a reflection on how great I did on that interview and how excited they are in resharing the content for them. So that's another distribution channel. So then from that distribution channel, how many referrals can I get from that individual or person, business, whatever? Okay, so if I interviewed you and I would like to interview 2 of your friends or 2 of the people, I'm going to prime you for that and prep you for it. So if you're excited about, how many people do you think will be excited about this episode? And how can I support you on supporting me in the future? It's about how I'm making you feel, but I'm prepping you for that. So then I'm holding myself accountable to really knock the cover off the ball when I interview you. So people there's a lot of thought that comes into this. You have to be very intentional and very deliberate. Carolyn, if you could put the one about the burn up, and Zach was just posted, I think, a minute ago. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Zach mentioned that he has felt burnout and now he doesn't have a podcast, but in the future is bright for one. This is exactly why we're doing this with Winject Studios. We're creating an environment and creating a community where people can come and not have to fall down that slippery slope of being burnt out. You have a team that's going to help you. So talk a little bit about it if you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's tools, there's resources, there's, like it's important to have a team and support network, right? It's about, when you create your content, what do you say in your content, or how do you deliver it, and the energy you deliver? And then there is a whole aspect of, okay, once you're done, what's gonna happen to the content? You're gonna edit it, clip it, create little clips, and then how are you gonna automate the distribution? How are you gonna publish it here, publish it there? If you have a system in place, whether it's a combination of software, team, a little bit of both, that's just gonna help you just take your mind off of that and keep your mind focused on what we're doing here, which is the creation part.
Right. And I love that you said that. And I think that one thing that allowed me to get enough content, I don't have a content problem because I have so much content because over the years, but I save it. And that's why I'm excited about utilizing your platform and software. So I'm able to take that content and allowing that to do the hard work, where it's taking, now I can utilize my editing team to focus on more of the bigger projects rather than focusing on small little clips. It takes so much time to do. I can take one clip. Okay, maybe I can look at it and say, hey, I really like this hour podcast. Well, I don't want to just post that hour podcast in the platform. I'm going to say, okay, what are the top 5 clips that I think that could work, and then chopping those up and letting it do the hard work for it. because that's one of my things that I wanted to bring up with you before we get to Zach's another statement. Thank you, Zach, for commenting. But would you say that's probably the best way of going about doing it and chopping up in your favorite 5 and then putting it in the software rather than taking a whole hour episode and dropping it in a platform?
Well, I mean, the beauty is you can just, whatever your videos, let's say we're doing this on, on Facebook now or on LinkedIn or whatever platform you want, you can repurpose directly from that platform. So I can go in and just say, connect my Facebook page, and then just within our tool, just grab the 1 minute pieces directly. So if you don't have to have a video editing software or cut up those minutes, all you need to do is within our app itself, you can actually just grab this minute here or this 45-second, whatever you want, and make the clips inside our tool. And there's more advanced stuff. If we do some training later on, I can go into it, and our course covers it. But the idea is you don't need to have any other tool. You can just say, hey, take my video from my Facebook page and send a clip to Instagram. And then when you do that, then you can drag a little slider and then pick the 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, whatever number of clips directly from our platform. So you're doing everything in one place.
Right. I do like that a lot. And that's one of the questions that I did get from one of the community members. What separates them from Canva? And I was like, well, a lot. I mean, you can do so much with Canva. Yeah, it's great. But you can't really be very deliberate with the approach and scheduling it off. And forgive me, Canva, for not really promoting you on this, but I just think that, that's good if you do want to take your promos and taking certain things and your stories or whatever you're trying to do. I don't care. But I think with the software approach and actually having a platform do all the heavy lifting, it only takes you, will put you in the driver's seat on always be re-energized to want to do your content. Because I know about myself, I'm very conscious of energy. And you know this, we've had so many conversations. If I feel I can't recycle my energy into what, obviously my source is about and how to recycle that and getting the fulfillment from it, I'm going to burn out eventually. And I'm not going to want to do it subconsciously. I'm like, I don't really feel like this shit right now. And the next thing you know, and it shows through my content. I'm not able to deliver. Exactly. I'm not able to deliver the way I would normally would.
Yeah, I was going to say, it shows. You try your best. You can't fake it. When you're excited about something, it comes out in your video, right? When you're not excited about it, it's going to come out in your video or your audio and your voice. So keep systems in place. Any part of your business. I mean, especially in the content part. Yeah. Keep systems in place, tools, team, combination of both, so that you focus your energy. When you're doing the interview, hey, this is worth my time because it's going to all these platforms, and I already have a team /software to take care of that. I don't have to even worry about it. I just focus on the creation. And I know I'm just saying that over and over again, but it's really important. You focus on kind of how you deliver the content, what content you're talking about, and just put your energy on that. But without systems and tools, you can't do that because you're worried about, next week I got to do this again. And, then I got to cut up the video, and then I got to do, forget.
Too much. You're making me want to jump out the window right now. So it's, I'm serious. I mean, because it's really easy to fall down that slippery slope. Okay, I'll just go to Fiverr. I'll go to one of these, what is it called, Upwork, and hire someone to do my content. Well, you got to realize something. These people, depending on where they are in the world, if they're not bought into you and your style and what you deliver all the way down to the true essence of you, then they don't give a shit what it is. They're not going to want to post the content, and not going to look for those small details when I'm like, man, Chris wasn't on one today. Like, what happened? Mm-hmm. Well, they're just going to post it anyway. Well, those small little details add up. And that's what the software, I think, it obviously does for people. It allows them to focus only on their content, and then putting someone else there, like a VA, to kind of like oversee it to make sure there's certain clips, then get it approved and then post, and you get it out of there. Just keep doing what you're doing. So I think that's amazing. And that's obviously a big separation gap of what Canva can do and what obviously Repurpose can do, and which makes it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have an integration in the works.
Yeah,
where you can pull in some of your Canva designs in there. So like Canva complements our tool, and our tool is designed so that you don't have to upload any video. So you go live here, you upload a video from YouTube. We'll take it from YouTube, and then we'll chop it up and send it here and there. Or we'll grab it from Facebook. And so there's no like uploading videos to Repurpose. So it's like think of us as our software grabs from here, does the magic, turns into this format, that format, puts captions, etc., shoots it off to here, grabs from here, shoots it off to here. So it's like doing the work. It gets rid of all these manual uploading steps, especially when you have videos. Sometimes
such a pain in the, you know what?
You got to upload it here, and then I got to upload it here. And no, it just grabs from YouTube here, takes from your audio content, turns them into videos. You know, you decide what rules you want and what you're trying to execute. And our course gives you kind of some recommendations. And,
right.
And if you're a video creator, do this. If you're an audio creator, do that.
One thing I do love about the software is when you do log in, it gives you so many tutorials, and you don't feel like, okay, now I have this thing. Well, what the hell do I do with it? Well, it doesn't. And your videos are short. They're not like long, huge videos that where I have to go, okay, I'm going to school now. That's one thing that I've learned through like course creation. If you make your videos, especially at the beginning, too long to consume, or too, I guess, jam-packed with out-of-the-box thinking content, it makes it really difficult for them not to execute. Because if they're confused, you're going to be confused by the results. It needs to be clear and concise. Like, here's what to do. Do this. Yeah. If you do this and it's wrong, send a message to support, because it's not us, it's them. This is what it is. So I do love that about your, obviously, testimonials. And, well, not really testimonials, but tutorials.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you haven't done this yet, so here's what you need to do next. Just focus on the next step. Because like you said, if you're trying to do everything in one time, you're going to get overwhelmed. If you're just like, okay, add this, make my first little rule in the system or workflow or recipe, whatever you want to call it. Okay, boom. Now I got content going to here. Okay, now I can do this. So we kind of walk you through it. We're actually working on another like document that says, all right, it's like an SOP procedure. It's like a standard operating procedure. Hey, if you're a live streamer to YouTube, here's exactly what you need to do. If you're a Facebook video live streamer, if you upload regular content to YouTube, and we're trying to kind of cover all the different use cases and walk you through from that perspective to how to set up the software so that you can automate, almost all of it.
Right. And I don't have the statistic in front of me, and I don't even know if you've worked this out, but how much money, as in cost savings, do you think it will actually, you're saving people just from just as an engine, I guess you would say, on the stuff, like as in content creation and repurposing? That's a great. I would love to know that statistic.
I would love to share that number. I mean, I don't know that number. I would love to kind of calculate that, because
that'd be crazy.
Price points are very low, and it's obviously an exclusive offer for Winject members. But it's like, I'm gonna say, you can't, if you compare it to paying somebody to do it, it doesn't even compare. Like, it's
no at all. That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, because it's, how much is it per month? It's like it's cheaper than $49.
It's like $25 for like the plan that lets you do all the video and audio stuff. Is $25 a month. That's our regular price. And
that's crazy.
You can't pay somebody. You can't. That's like a couple hours of someone's time. 1 hour or less. And this is for the month. And you get unlimited posting, unlimited video. Like, it's
a no-brainer.
You have a video engine. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a total no-brainer.
And you get 25% off with Winject Studios.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
So I don't see how. That's the whole purpose behind. That was a good little segue. So that was the whole purpose behind the repurpose. So I was like, damn, that's pretty good. So that was just true though. That's the whole purpose behind why this makes sense, and it's a no-brainer with our community members, because we want you to take as much off of you as possible for you to focus on how can I develop my content better each time. What are the small? Then that's what people aren't understanding behind really honing in on your craft on interview styles. I love, what my background is, the art of questioning and framing and really extracting information out of people that they normally wouldn't have a chance to, I guess, interview. Well, that's what keeps bringing people back to my show rather than them going to another show. Like, so you came onto the show and you've went on 100 interviews. I go, well, I show obviously my worth. I'm going to get things out of you that you normally don't talk about. And I don't do that as a more of a tactic or trying to be very invasive. It's not. I create the environment, and I'm just genuinely curious, and I'm going to show my talent. I'm going to show my skill. And this gives you an opportunity to dial in on that and hone in on your craft. So, man, I appreciate coming on. Thank you so much. And our friendship and then also our official partnership, man. It's just going to be fun watching everybody flourish within this community.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for having me here, man. I appreciate it.
Right. Always, man. You can come on. You can steal the show if you want. You want my slot? You can have it. Talk about content creation all day.
I don't have the view. I don't have the beautiful view.
That's a backdrop, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not really. It's real life. But yeah, so anytime that you want to come on, just more than welcome. But what are the best ways on, of course, we've been streaming the little handles on the bottom here for those who are watching the video. But if you're not watching the video, how can they find you?
Just at Hani Mourra or at Repurpose.io on pretty much all the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on everywhere, and I'm happy to reach out, say hi, and let me know what you learned. And if you want to ping me for more questions, I'm happy to answer them as well.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate it again. Carolyn, if you could put the last little comment from Zach, our official. I think he put something up last time, and I wasn't able. Too busy talking. So if you're spending time on promoting and your content, suffers. Yep, there's so much time in a day to week. Make content stronger, repurpose like crazy. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So just like all the other members and the official partners, we have Russ Johns tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We have on Wednesday my good friends from Alpha Hippie themselves. They just have been knocking the cover off the ball with their lives on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure if that's the same time. Carolyn, you can just put something up if it isn't the right time. But on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern time with Zach and Jason from Market House and Site Now with our website developers. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Things are about to pop off within the back office. It is nuts. The way it looks is insane. I'm so excited right now. I'm like a kid about to walk into like Christmas time, right? And like, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait for everyone to see it. Like, oh my God, it's my new bike. Oh, yeah. Well, this is Christmas in July. It's about to pop off. It's going to be fun. But yeah, I appreciate it again. Guys, be well, be you, be great. Peace out. Much love. Go win your day. Happy Money Monday. Hit the music, Carolyn. We're out.
This broadcast is brought to you by Winject Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.